pushing and pulling, it won't open, it's no good, and I'm wide awake now. I can't get no sleep.
The Blades Ramble are proudly supported by our main channel sponsor, My Business Group, a group of brands designed to support owners, leaders and managers in business. We would not be where we are without the incredible support of John and the team. If you're looking to grow your business, contact mybusinessgroup.co.uk today for more information, or follow the link in the description below.
Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and this is your countdown to Kickoff. Apologies for my tardiness. I am a few minutes late, and that is because we've been over on Ramble FC with a bit of Yorkshire's finest. We've got Conor McGilligan on there tonight from the One Leeds fan channel and the Conor McGilligan channel as well, talking about all things Yorkshire football. Myself and Carl Fowler really enjoying doing that show. And thank you to everybody for the positive feedback. That's over on Ramble FC. We've got a couple of calls in tonight, thanks to Brett, one of our own as well, who joined us on there tonight. Really, really good. But now we're back to talking about what we love, and that is Sheffield United. And Sheffield United off the back of 3 really good points on Saturday against Watford. And a lot of people are saying it weren't pretty and all this sort of thing. I didn't mind it. I thought we played well, particularly second half. I think there's a lot of real positives to take out of the game. I know we've discussed it on 90 after 90, and things will be quite whistle stop this week because it's a very jam-packed week. I think we've got 3 games in 6 days, essentially. Saturday, Tuesday, Friday. So there's going to be loads coming up on the channel, and there's going to be loads to talk about, and it'll be quick turnaround. So we might touch on a couple of things that we've already mentioned, but that'll be it, done, packed, and we move, won't it, from there. So just before I forget, because we are warming up, obviously, to tomorrow night's game tonight. We're looking at the countdown to kick off for Blackburn. We have got a watch along tomorrow. Myself and Jord Motson will be here from 7 o'clock tomorrow. That's the next time we'll be on. 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. Myself and Jord Motson, the man on the mic, we will be watching the game at Blackburn. We're on the red button on Sky Sports if anybody wants to watch along with us, and then join us for the stream as well, and we can all comment together and have a chat about what we're doing. So, how is everybody feeling? In fact, I'm going to mix it up a little bit and jump into the comments straight off and see how everybody's doing. Up the Blade starts us off saying, we were good on Saturday. Now it's about being consistent and putting a run together. I'd expect some rotation either today or Friday. Also, from the relegation point of view, if they beat us, it'll be a 4-point gap. It'll form a 4-point gap. If they beat us, it'll... All right, okay. We're not thinking like that, though, pal. We're not thinking that way. My lineup, he says, would be Cooper, me, McGuinness, Tanganga, McCallum. So that's your 4. Peck and Samari, Sariki, Callum O'Hare, Campbell and Cannon. Ogbenny would be better off from the bench, I think, and Femi is a wing-back by trade. All right, so if you're going with wing-backs, it's going to be Cooper, a back 3 of Tanganga, McGuinness and me. You've got Sariki and McCallum as your wing-backs, Peck and Samari in the middle, Callum O'Hare behind Cannon and Campbell. Interesting. Right, thank you, mate. Also, we have to give Cannon a chance in a 2. The one goal he has scored for us was when he played in a 2, and his best other performances were when he were in a 2 from the off. Don't mind. I think all of our strikers work better in a 2. I think the striker best suited to being up on his own, and it might sound ludicrous because of the way we've spoken about him this season, is Tyrese Campbell. I think Tyrese Campbell is the one that has not been performing, admittedly, but I think he's got all the tools, the physical tools, when he's fit. I think he's strong, he's quick, he can hold the ball up well. He can run the channels, which he hasn't been doing as much of recently. I think Danny Ings put in a better performance than him on Saturday. But I think if you're talking about who's built best for a one up top, I think it's Ty Campbell. I think all of our strikers, all 3 of them, if you're talking about Cannon, Ings and Campbell, all of them would perform better in a 2. And that's natural because it's lightening the individual load on them, isn't it? But who do you sacrifice in the team? Obviously, Up the Blades has gone with a 3-4-1-2. Myself and Man Mountain talked about that formation on Two Mighty Blades yesterday. I'm trying to keep up with the days because we've done so many shows. We did Two Mighty Blades yesterday. We did Hot Off the Presser this morning. I've just done Yorkshire's Finest on Ramble FC. We're doing Countdown to Kickoff now. We've got a watch along tomorrow, followed by 90 after 90, and then we've got to build up for a Friday game as well. So plenty for your Ramble fix this week. Phil says, hello, Jimmy. My team for Blackburn is a 3-4-2-1. He's going Cooper, Tanganga, McGuinness and me, Ogbenny and McCallum as your wing backs, Peck and Gyro, O'Hare, Cannon and Ings. You've said there it's a 3-4-2-1, but I assume you mean a 3-4-1-2, Phil, with Cannon and Ings up top as the two. Tyrese can come on later against tired defenders up the Ramble. Don't mind that at all. I'll get to my team very shortly, but it's interesting to hear what some people are saying about their teams. Alex says, hi, Jimmy, hope you're well. I'm going same lineup as Watford, but Brooks for Barry and Ings for Campbell. Come on, you Blades. Interesting you say that. Interesting. John the Toronto Blade says, hi, Jimmy, here's my team for Tuesday, 3-4-1-2. A lot of 3-4-1-2s. It's a very popular one, even though it's not the formation we played, was it, at the weekend? He's starting Cooper, Tanganga, McGuinness, and I assume you mean me as well. Ogbenny, and swapping with Shackleton. McCallum, and swapping with Burrows. Samari starts, Gyro comes on, and then Peck. Okay, bit of a confusing way to lay it out for me, but fair dues. Cannon with Brooks coming on for him after 65 minutes. Ings with Campbell replacing him after 65 minutes. Very accurate there in terms of your timings. Finishers, not subs, finishers. Oh, Adam Davis. I think you're just naming your bench, aren't you, to be fair. Adam Davis, Jamie Shackleton, Gyro, Burrows, Campbell, Zatterstrom, Matos, Brooks and Sariki. The finishers need to be specialists. Interesting. Paul says, I'd play two up top. We need more goals. Up the Ramble, up the Blades. I'd play two up top as well. We'll come to my team in a minute. Lewis says, evening pal, I've been going over the possible lineup in my mind and it's tricky. 3-game week and short of good midfield options. The more I think it over, the fewer changes I think he'll make. He made some noticeable strategic subs on Saturday, McCallum being one. I think he'll make McCallum coming off being one. Sorry, it's right that I mentioned that. I think he'll make 2 or 3 changes at most, but with some hour mark subs during the game. For Lewis, it's a 4-2-3-1 with Cooper, Tanganga, McGuinness and me at the back. That's been unwavering. Everybody's gone for that back three, understandably so. It's a 4. Apologies, it's a 4 for Lewis. Tanganga is right back, McGuinness and me and McCallum, so that's how Wilder started. Peck and Gyro, and it was Peck and Samari, wasn't it, to start at the weekend. Brooks instead of Barry. Brooks, O'Hare and Barry. So Ogbenny's out with Ings up top. I think he'll be forced to play Barry up the Ramble. Interesting. Brett says, evening, Jimmy, starting to see you more than my own missus. Let's hope we can keep the momentum up from Saturday. I'll be having a lucky Jaeger bomb. Gyro needs to start. Looked calm and composed. Up all the positive ones. Thank you, mate. Bryce says, evening all. As ever, keep it nice and clean. Enjoy another Ramble, folks. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Bryce. I have replied to your email as well. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but thank you for sending me that. Mark Meldrew says, for me, I'd go Cooper, Tanganga, McGuinness, me, Ogbenny, Peck, Gyro and McCallum, O'Hare and Brooks with Ings up top. So you going 3-4-2-1. Is that what you're doing, Mark Meldrew? Campbell and Barry out for me. Barry's not up to it and Campbell out of form. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, up the Meldrew. 2 games in 4 days, so bound to make some changes. Let's keep the momentum going. Big performance tomorrow is needed. Blunt Yorkshireman says, I'd drop Barry and play Ings with Campbell. Yeah, me too. O'Hare in the hole. Probably Gyro for Peck too. Interesting. I don't think he'll drop Peck. I'll be amazed if he does. Stranger things have happened. It's a 3 games in 6 days week, isn't it? Tom says, evening, Jimmy, biggest game of the season so far, in my opinion. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Yeah, absolutely right. In fact, let's jump into it now. I know Dave Morwood's the next comment. So, what have I gone with then? I can't honestly remember, if I'm completely honest with you, because I did it yesterday, and there's been so much happened since then. But, here we go. Let's surprise everybody, including me. I've gone with a 3-4-1-2. I think it's a team that's already been named, to be honest, by somebody. So, I've gone with Michael Cooper in goal. I've gone with a back 3 of Tanganga, McGuinness and me. I've gone Femi Sariki as right wing back. I don't know his injury status, to be honest, and I'm not upset if Ogbeni keeps his place. I just think as a right wing back, he's a much more natural choice. Ogbeni being asked to do defensive duties isn't really his bag. I know he's played at right wing back before. I think he's better further up the field. But I'd like to see Femi get a chance if he can, and with the rotation, if he's available, I'd like to see Femi get a start. But I think McCallum, I know we talked about rotation, but after a man of the match performance, and Lewis rightly pointed out, he only played 60, 65 minutes on Saturday. Still got man at match, deservedly so. But he should be well rested. And I think we're now starting to have a decent option in that area where we've got genuine competition. So McCallum keeps his shirt for me, and he's earned that. I'm sticking with Gyro, who I'm hoping can be fit. I know me and Man Mountain were talking about it on 2MB yesterday. He looks like he's going to be a real asset to us. I think it was I went down a bit of a rabbit hole with Samari yesterday unintentionally. I don't want there to be, I don't want it to be misconstrued that I really don't like Samari. That's not the case at all. I was a lot more confident with Gyro on the field. I think he provides that calmness that Wilder's talked about, and I like the look of him. Alongside Sidipek, I thought Sidipek looked really good. When they were playing together, it sort of seemed to instantly click. I really liked it. Callum O'Hare, another one who's more than deserves. If he's not the first name on the team sheet, he's the second name at the moment. And the man who you might consider lucky to keep his shirt at the minute, Tyrese Campbell, I want to give him every chance to get back to some sort of form. I don't think he's fit, if I'm honest. I don't think he's fit. So if you went Cannon instead of Campbell, I would understand it. But I want Danny Ings on from the start. I think Danny Ings has looked dangerous. I think he's... Again, we were talking yesterday about it. He needs minutes. There's only so much training you can do to get you to a certain level of fitness. Match fitness is a completely different thing. Danny Ings needs minutes in his legs. And I think I would love to see it. Now, that is the team I want to see. The team that I think we will see is this. I think he's going to stick with his back four. And I think there's a little tweak here that I'm speculating that he might do. I think he goes Tanganga, McGuinness, me, and Burrows as his left back. And I say that because McCallum stays in the side, but on the left wing, where Louis Barry was. I don't think Louis Barry took his chance on Saturday. And I think there's a chance that on that left-hand side, he might go for Brooks, and it wouldn't surprise me at all because he was very complimentary, and rightly so, of Andre Brooks when he spoke about him in the press conference. So this may all go to pot anyway, straight away, and he might just end up with McCallum as a left-back and Brooks as the left wing. But I think it's an interesting twist to think that McCallum and Burrows could play in the same team, particularly away from home, where we might have to be a little bit more cautious coming backwards. I think Ogbeni is on the right-hand side in front of Tanganga for Chris Wilder. I've gone with Sidipek and Gyro in the middle. I think Wilder's clearly a huge fan of Gyro Riedwald. He again stated today in the press conference how bloated the squad is, and the numbers need to come down. Yet he has brought in Riedwald, and it's got to be for a first team role. It wouldn't be for anything else. The only question as to whether he plays or not is fitness. Callum O'Hare will certainly keep his place in the side, and I think because of the formation that we're going, I think Tyrese Campbell will probably keep his place. But it wouldn't shock me if Danny Ings started, but I do think Chris Wilder rates Tyrese Campbell, and he's every right to after the season he had last year. It's just I'm hoping that he can start to prove what he has, what we've seen previously out of him, because I am concerned with his run of form at the minute. So those are the teams that I think. We'll come on to the opposition in a moment. I'm going to jump back into some comments now. David says, evening Jimmy, we have to keep the small momentum we gained growing, up all the rambles, up the blades, up the positive ones. Like and subscribe, please. Thank you, David. I agree with this because, and this is why I think it's such a big game. I think the Watford game and the Watford result gives us much needed momentum. But if we get beat, or even, we're winning at Blackburn and concede in last few minutes to an equaliser, it sort of knocks all stuffing out of you. And it could kill the momentum straight away. I think if we go to Blackburn and we get a result, if we go and we beat Blackburn and we climb above Blackburn in the table, I think it's a real statement. Back-to-back wins for the first time this season. It's certainly achievable. They're only a place above us. And again, we'll come on to Blackburn in a minute. I certainly think it's doable to go and beat Blackburn. I think it's a real important fixture, this one. Kyle says, fancy us tomorrow. I'd start Ings up front and give him an hour, then give Campbell 30 off the bench. Campbell would certainly be more impactful from the bench, wouldn't it? I think if we all sort of think around it being a fitness issue rather than purely a form issue, then if he comes on with fresh legs on 60 minutes, then he's half a chance to. And that's how he got his way into the side initially. He was second fiddle to Kiefer Moore, if you remember. And it was only when Moore got injured that Campbell started to get more minutes and sort of forced his way in as number one. So Lee says, I'd go Cooper, Tanganga, McGuinness, me and McCallum as your back four. Ogbeni, Peck, Samari and Burrows. O'Hare, and then O'Hare just behind Ings. Only reason no gyro is match sharpness. Start him or bring him on is the conundrum. So just a change at left wing and centre forward. So left wing, you're going for Burrows instead of McCallum. So again, thinking along the same lines, me and you, Lee. And centre forward, Danny Ings. Yeah, don't mind that at all. Robbie Gotts says, Wilder slowly restoring confidence and pride. Up the Blades, 2-0 win at Blackburn. Carry that momentum on. 2-0 is very optimistic with the current scoring run that we're on. But look, I'm here for it, mate. I'm here for it. I hope you're right. Grant says 4 points from the next two. A win tomorrow at Blackburn and a point at Preston. If I offer you, Grant, it's a great comment because I posed this to Man Mountain yesterday, and I think he said yeah. I don't want to sort of put words in his mouth, but I honestly can't remember. If I offered you 4 points right now, would you take it from these next two? I think we've got to, in the situation that we're in, even though they're two winnable games, I think you've got to take 4 points. Now, if we beat Blackburn, then I'm saying stick your 4 points. I want 6, but it's one of them, isn't it? Brand says, evening, Jim. Really enjoyed Yorkshire's finest. You three are great. Thank you, mate. There may be more to come from us. Wait and see. We've got some exciting things planned. Can't make my mind up whether Burrows or McCallum plays in this. Never like changing a winning side, but it's a busy week. It is. It's a conundrum, isn't it? That's why Wilder gets paid the big bucks. And Blood Yorkshireman says mine's a 3-4-1-2. Thank you, mate. I don't know whether I called it that or not. Bryce says, for me, one up front always smacks of a bit of negativity and gives the opposition a bit of a lift. I prefer two up front. Yeah, I think a lot of people are leaning towards that. And I think the thing that sort of led people down that road was clearly seeing no bodies in the box. There was very few. Whenever we managed to get the ball in and around the box, there were very few, if any, options. Two up front automatically gives you more options in the final third. And that's, I think, even subconsciously, I think that's why some of us are saying, we need to go two up top, we need to go two up top. There are ways of playing one up top successfully in an attacking side. And that's what Wilder were arguing in the presser, but we haven't quite seen it with Sheffield United, have we? Certainly not this season. Brand says, would be ashamed to see McCallum dropped with the form he's in. First name I'd get in January has to be Suter. Reckon Godfrey goes back. I agree. I think that's a straight. I wouldn't be surprised if that were already a done deal where Godfrey returns and Suter comes in. And I think Suter, if he's anywhere near what he was last season, because it's a terrible injury, you can't forget that. I think Mark McGuinness is the unfortunate one because he's not really done, he's not done a bad job, has he, at all, McGuinness? I think some would say he's done a good job. I think he's been okay to decent and done, a job that you would expect of him. But I think of the three, he's the vulnerable one out of the three. And a back three at this level of Tanganga, Suter and me is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Bryce says, I've seen it, mate. Thank you. No problem. No problem. Steve says, any truth in the rumours that Ben Godfrey is now in rehab? Don't know, mate. Don't know, to be honest. Paul Young says, Wilder's too stubborn to play two up top. We all know it. Behave yourself, Tex. Behave yourself. I don't think he is. We've seen it mid-game. And, we'll wait and see, won't we? Yeah, he's certainly changed the formation already at times this season. So it wouldn't surprise me. I do expect him to go one up top, though. Matt says, hey, Jimmy, hope you're well. Still doing the Uber job. Up the Blades, up all the rambles, like and subscribe. Yes, pal. Not been doing it for a long time, to be fair. I've not been in as often as I'd like. We've been very busy on the channel. I'm hoping to get in maybe a little bit tomorrow. I want to try and get some content done for it for Behind the Ramble. So we will get back on that. But it's a very busy week this week, isn't it? So we'll have to wait and see. Bryce says, please like, subscribe, and share this awesome Blades channel and help us get to that oh so close 10k. We are close. So near yet so far. Thank you, Bri. Appreciate that. Phil says, I'd drop Campbell and play Ings. Up the Blades, up the Ramble Gym. Quality content, pal. Thank you, mate. Is Matos not part of Wilder's plans? Well, he picked Samari over Matos, didn't he, at the weekend? Matos didn't come off the bench, but he was on the bench, I think. So would it surprise anybody to see Matos in the lineup now that we're refreshing things instead of Samari, maybe, or instead of Peck even? I don't know is the honest answer. I think he can't fancy Matos or Samari too much with the fact that he's signed Gyro. So I think Matos is one of those that will have to change his mind. But whether he's having Matos or not, Matos is our player. We've signed him for a significant fee, 4 or 5 million quid from what I understand. He's a young player. It wouldn't surprise me to see Matos out on loan somewhere, maybe even in the Championship somewhere, because he was on loan at Oxford, I think, last year. And getting some game time, getting some minutes under his belt in January. Surely Campbell's got to be dropped, says Nige. Well, that's maybe. There's certainly a fair argument to be had about that. Interesting on Burrows and McCallum in the same side, Jimmy. If I did that, I'd have Burrows on the wing and McCallum left back. Yeah, I think they're interchangeable, aren't they? I think they're both strong going forward. And I think they're both sometimes a little bit fan-wanting defensively. Yeah, I can see the argument for McCallum, but I thought going forward, his little intricate play in and around the box was pretty good as well, so that probably just steered me a little bit. But you're right, I won't complain at that combination either. I think that's the way that Lee had him round as well. Ray says, great show, Jimmy. Surely Chris won't play... Thank you, mate. Surely Chris won't play Barry tomorrow. It was like playing with 10 men on Saturday. Sorry, Barry, but you're not up to the Championship. Up the Blades, up all the Rambles, like and subscribe. And it's not something we like saying, is it, Ray? But again... it's difficult because contrary to popular belief, and some people will throw individual players back at me, I don't like digging anybody out. And I, it's never a personal thing. I'm with Ray on this. I don't see it in Louis Barry. I was excited for him to come. I was really excited for him to come. I think he showed potential at a lower level that you think maybe he can do. If he can replicate this in the Championship, we could be onto a real player here. Tyler Binden, similar, although I think Tyler Binden would do better with better players around him. I just don't think he's going to get a chance to do that now. I think he'll go back. I think Barry will go back. I think Godfrey will go back as well in January. I think all 3 loans get terminated. Certainly on current form and on current evidence, I think that's what will happen. So yeah, it's not worked, has it, Ray? And it sounds harsh to say it out loud, and I wish it wasn't the case. Does anybody, this is a question for you while I'm going to get on to Blackburn very shortly, but does anybody think Barry can come back from this? Does anybody think he's now done and Wilder's made his mind up? Because I've no doubt that Barry is on Wilder's list to go back in January currently. But he keeps saying, as he has to say in the press conferences, everybody's got a chance to change my mind. Do we believe that? Has Barry got the chance and the ability to change his mind? I'm not sure. Matt Meldrew says, anyone not taking 4 from the next 2 is on Spice. Say it as you find it, Marco. Philip says, I keep McCallum in the side. You have to keep players in the side who are playing out of their skin, pal. Absolutely right, you do. Absolutely right. Big T says, if we come away from the next 3 games with 7 points, our season is back up and running. Early goal tomorrow, and I think the game is ours. Up the Blades. P.S. Minnie has got belly. Minnie has got belly tomorrow afternoon. Minnie has got belly tomorrow afternoon. If anybody can decipher that code, let me know. But I don't know what you're on about, T. But thank you again to Big Tony for doing Ramble on the Road, which has gone down really well. A really popular Ramble on the Road from Watford. If you haven't seen it already, it's a short on the Blades Ramble. 3 minutes of Tony being brilliant. Marco says, if you play McCallum and Burrows in the same side, then Burrows needs to play further. All right. He's already dead. Bart. I would like to see 2 up top in the starting lineup, says Water. See more chances in and around the box. Yeah, but you're also sacrificing someone further back, aren't you? So there's less chance of it getting to the box. But I understand your thought process. I'm with you as well, by the way. Is in-form Ty Campbell really that good, though? Over 16 players in the Championship scored more goals than him last season. So it's a fair point. It's a fair point. Just because he's the best we've got doesn't mean he's the best out there, does it? Even though I was arguing all season with Connor about him being better than Joel Piroux. But I just like arguing with Connor, to be fair. Romeo Dunn says, I think it's for wins this season. Again, not sure what you're on about there, pal. Blunt Yorkshireman says, I don't think it's a case of Wilder doesn't fancy Matos or Samari. I think he sensibly realised one of them, plus Peck, is too inexperienced, hence the Gyro signing. I think that's fair. That's about right. But it doesn't bode well for the long-term future, does it, if they're not going to get in the 11? They've got to work hard now to get back in. I think Samari will probably keep his place. Gyro might get in. I've predicted that Wilder goes with Gyro, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if Samari stays in, because he again came off early, didn't he? But I don't think he's the long-term preferred partnership in the middle. I think it's just getting us by at the minute. Super positive. Jack says, got to send the loans back. We don't have time to see if they'll come good unless they hit the ground running. Excuse me. Cal says, hi Jimmy, hope you're well. Did you pick the team for tomorrow night? I certainly did. Up the blades, up the ramble, up behind the ramble. Like and subscribe. Dave the knows, he really knows. Apologies, my voice is still not quite up at Adele levels like it was. I'm hoping to get back to full fitness at some point. For me, Samari should go back if Matos is our player, with Blaster coming back as well. I wouldn't change much from the week. That is a real talking point, by the way, Dave. I don't mean to breeze over that, because I'd have liked you to be involved in 3MB last night, because Man Mountain was trying to rally the troops against me, and I'll not have anything else said about it. I wouldn't change much from the weekend. Ings for Barry and 2 up top for me. Nice. I'd say we try Burrows left wing or left centre attacking midfielder, says Alems. Jack says Samari also needs to go back. A couple of strong loans and we'll be firing for the playoffs. I think it's harsh on Samari to say go back. I didn't think he played badly. I think it was okay against Watford, and that's not oh my God, he has to go back. I just think as players return, and if Gyro earns a deal, he's certainly going to be 4th place. If Tom Davies returns to fitness, he's 5th place. And if he fancies Matos over at top of him, he's 6th place. So Barry reminds me a lot of Ben Woodburn. He's come in with a lot of hype, but showing nothing so far at this level. It's all well and good looking the part against Chesterfield. Kyle, that's a really good comparison. Really good comparison. Jamie Dumpling's looking at it now. Oh, Ben who? Brett says Samari should go back. Not that he's been bad, but he isn't our player. And we have depth there now. Barry's too lightweight with no pace to beat his man. Romeo Dunn says, I meant to say that's it for wins this season. Oh, Romeo, come on, pal. Come on, pal. Jack says, Ings needs to start for me. Get one striker in form. And get at least one striker in form. I like what I saw against Watford. Just got to kick on, but I'm struggling to see where the goals are going to come from. For me, Jim, it looks lost half the game. Jack, aren't you trying to put him for a place on the positive blades? Oh, I don't know, mate. Wavering already. Right, let's have a quick look at the opposition before we wrap up. This is who we're up against. Valerian Ishmael's Blackburn Rovers. Their key man is Todd Cantwell. Although we're hearing rumours, now I don't know, you might be able to confirm in the chat for me, is Todd Cantwell out tomorrow? That'd be a big bonus for Sheffield United. They've been playing a 4-2-3-1 for the majority of the season, and they're currently 22nd place, one step ahead of Sheffield United. One place in front of us. So obviously there's the chance to leapfrog them tomorrow. There's also the chance that they can start to build away from us. Like has been said already, it could seal us 4 points into the relegation zone this if it don't go our way. So we need to capitalise on this momentum that we've started to build. So I'm going to ask you, you've done your team predictions and your preferred team lineups, and I appreciate that. What's your score prediction? And this is mine. I think we nick it. I think we ride the wave of momentum, and I think we nick this 1-0. And I think it's going to be a real springboard for us to go into the Preston game, which then also becomes a real nail-biter. And I'm not saying we're going to get 9 points, because we haven't even played the second game yet. But can you imagine going into Preston off the back of 2 wins and what that could do for the confidence of the players? And then, you know, we beat Preston and you laugh at Jebbo and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, that's we'll come to that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I fancy us to nick this. I fancy us to nick it. And I think we've certainly got the ability. It's just whether we can put it all together on the night. So we'll be here, as I said. Myself and Jordan Motson will be here tomorrow night. Watch the game with us. 7 o'clock on the Blades Ramble, right here, your number one spot for all your Blades stuff. Let's just get the last few comments in then. When Blaster is back fully fit, would you bench Peck or would you play him alongside Peck? I think they're quite similar players. I think our Blaster's a better player. I don't think it'll be a real problem until a couple of weeks, if not a few weeks, after our Blaster's return, LMs. So you might be looking at December time when there'll be a lot of games as well. It's similar to this period where there's 3 game weeks and stuff like that. So there will be need to rest, and you might be looking really at January before you make a proper decision on who's your starter, because Blaster will need some time to return to fitness and possibly form. We can't expect him to come back and be the Sheffield United Premier League captain. He's still a pro footballer with less than 100 professional games, I think, under his belt. So it's one to be wary of in terms of rushing him back. I think if every player is playing to their maximum, then you play our Blaster alongside Gyro or Peck. And I've not seen enough of Gyro to say he's a better player than Peck, but he's certainly a different player to Peck. So we'll have to wait and see what else Gyro can offer us before we can have a serious conversation about that. But it's a good talking point, pal. Samari's quality, 2 games he's played in, both wins, says Mo. Again, it's too early to write him off. As much as I'm saying he'll be down the pecking order in the weeks to come, which I think he will be, he's here to do a job now, isn't he, as well? And just because I didn't think he did a great job against Watford, or I sort of tempered my praise for him, doesn't mean I don't think he can do a job. I just think if he's not the finished article, is that really what we should be using our loan spots for? I don't think it is. My confidence has gone for the team, says Romeo, who's done. John says, just hope Chris doesn't mess with the team selection. We just need to get the ball and players in the box, and we will win. 2 up top would be nice. 1-0 win, Ings' first goal. So you don't want him to mess with the team, but you want 2 up top, which is different. It's a tough one, John, because it's a 3-game week, and I don't think Wilder can win in terms of, unless we get 3 points or a very good spirited draw, then I think he could potentially be criticised either way, because he's either going to have, if it don't go our way, he's either going to make too many changes or not enough changes. And that will be the criticism levelled at him, which is just part and parcel of the job he does, but it's harsh sometimes. And I think looking at it now, it's very easy. We've all had different team selections. A lot of us have gone with a similar formation, but we'll all have different team selections, and that ultimately will come down to Wilder. So we'll never be unanimously 100% this is the starting 11 across the board. So somebody's going to disagree with some of his decisions, and that's the pressure that's on him, isn't it? So we'll wait and see. Jack says, I still back us for the playoffs. I just think Wilder needs to be given a chance and given a nice couple of loan signings to 1 Blades, says Jack. Sausage Roll, the new Rangers manager. Yeah, saw that. Jord Motson's not a happy man. Jord Motson, who also follows Rangers, is obviously a devout Blade, but his Scottish side is Rangers. He's now got an ex-Owl as their manager. 2-0 Blade, says Mo. I don't know if it's M-O or Mo. I know it's spelled M-O, but come on, help me out. Getting wins and points on the board is crucial, by hook or by crook. A win tomorrow and second win in a row does the world of confidence and momentum. Absolutely right. Another 1-0 win for me, says Alessandro. Yeah, going with the same as me. I agree, pal. I think that would be right. Thank you to Water14, who's just become a Rambler. Much appreciated, pal. Ben Brunton says 1-0 Blades. Bryce says he'd take a 1-0. I think we all would, pal. I think we all would. Please like, subscribe, and share this awesome Blades channel and help us get to that oh so close 10k. Thank you, Bry. Loves a copy and paste, but I'm all about that. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. Our Blaster will be slowly fed into the team. He won't be replacing Peck straight away, says Jack. I agree. Would be huge to get the W tomorrow, says Luke. I'd like to see Cannon in a 2 up top, says Bry. You won't be alone in that. I think there'll be some people calling for it, and I think Campbell's form plays into a lot of those shouts as well. And it's a fair shout. Same team for me, but Ings instead of Campbell as the Wilder team then, because obviously I had Ings and Campbell up top. I'd take a draw, but can see us maybe nicking it 1-0. Yeah, I think we can too, pal. Cooler King, good evening, pal. Aloni is supposed to go straight into the first team, correct. Not fill out the squad, correct. If Wilder sends some back or out in January, where will he be looking to strengthen? Up front, maybe. I think there's areas all over the field we can look at. I think he probably feels comfortable in centre midfield when we've got him all fit now. I think right back as a legitimate right back might be a position he's looking at if he's going to stick with the 4 at the back. I think there's an argument for loads of different positions all over the pitch. Up front, potentially, but that would be more if either we go 2, which I don't think we will, or Cannon goes out, which he was close to doing in the summer on loan to Preston. And if Cannon goes out, then we'll bring in another striker as an option for the one place up front, and we'll want 3 strikers, I think. Come on, folks, hit that like button. Costs note. Costs note to hit the like button. Costs nothing to subscribe. It's absolutely free to you guys, but it really helps us out. So if you enjoy the content, I would appreciate it if you did that for us. Thank you. Kel says, I think 2-0 win. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, up behind the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Paul Young says, I wanted Dyche instead of Wilder, but what do I know? I wanted Liam Manning as manager at the start, and now it looks like the next one to get sacked. Never listen to me. Lol. Look, mate, we've all got opinions, haven't we? I think Dyche was... we all spoke about Dyche. When we didn't think Wilder was an option, a lot of us were on the same train as you with that. We were all on board with that. I think it was a bit ambitious. And now he's obviously gone in at Forest. He's waited. Has he gone in officially? He's about to go in, if he hasn't. He's waited. He's bided his time, and he's got an opportunity in Prem. So I think it would have been optimistic for us to try and look at Sean Dyche, to be honest. But you're not alone in wanting Dyche before we knew that Wilder were a possibility. But Bryce says, okay, we won't. Listen to you. Brand says, am I not right in thinking we have an option on Samari? If so, he ends up being a good player. He could quite easily become our player. There is some incentive to play him in my eyes. I think, Bran, and I may be wrong on this, but I think it's an obligation. So we have to pay it. Don't choose to pay it. We have to pay it if we get promoted. I don't think we've got an option to buy him. I think it's you must buy him if you get promoted. And the price tag, I believe, is 10 million quid. And we've paid 1.1 to get him on loan. So, 3-1 Blades, says Tom. Love that. Don't know where the 3 goals are coming from, but I'll take it. Take it right now. Jack says, I don't think Wilder will change to 2 up top after we've just got the win. Possibly not. Chris says, Harry Suter and Lyndon Dykes in January up the Ramble. Lyndon Dykes is an horrible player, isn't he? I'm not sure I fancy that one, to be honest. But, so, you know, each to their own. I don't want to say a score prediction, says Water. I don't want to jinx it, but I believe we can win this game. Okay, fair dues. Fair dues. Jack says, all I know is it's going to be a good week for us Blades. I can see us kicking on till January window, and strong quality loans will have us shooting up the table. Keep it Ramble, people. It's number 1, says Bright. Thank you, Brian. Thank you to everybody that's joined me tonight. Appreciated as always. As I say, you will next see us live on the channel tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Myself and Jordan Motson live for the watch-along of Blackburn versus Sheffield United. So, for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the Blade!